Right, g'day and welcome guys. Today I'm going to install a Outback Comms 12 volt Starlink adapter kit. We're looking for a while as to which one to go with. There are a couple of brands that are out on the market at the moment. Much of a muchness on paper. I don't know about the other ones. We've just decided to go with this one. We haven't seen too much in the way of this on social media and so on, so we thought we'd have a look. Time will tell. So here it is. This is the actual unit itself. This just gets, well, I'll show you where I'm going to put it. It's in one of the cabinets. Bolted onto the wall. Now, 12 volt, that's the modem. The dish itself will be mounted on a pole, which is now held by a bracket on our A-frame. From there, the dish will run this cable into the front of the Caravan, where I currently have a port. That was for our MIMO antenna, which we're no longer using, which is completely pointless having now, thanks to Starlink. So this is the new port that this cable from the dish runs to. From there, we run this cable from this port to this unit. And that's a 4 meter length of cable. They give you an option online when you order your device, what the distance roughly could be between that port and the device. Then you run the power from whatever power source to this. It also has an option for a booster antenna. So you can now receive your Wi-Fi signal from your Starlink up to 200 meters from your Caravan using this little puck. This goes onto the roof. These little pigtails go through the roof down into this device. That's going to be fun installing that, because I am terrified of drilling holes into my Caravan, truck, or anything that costs a lot of money. So I'm on my own today. I'm unsupervised, so we'll see how this goes. Anyway, I'll work it out, I'm sure. I'm not a complete dullard. This will go in today-ish. I'm sort of lucky because I've already drilled a hole through the van. So I think this is roughly the same size as the one that's there. So hopefully I won't need to excavate that hole anymore. And then I'll just take that current grommet out and install this one. They're pretty good because it's got a waterproof cap on it. All of them do. Which I'm kind of puzzled as to why there's waterproof caps on the actual device when it's going to be internally mounted. Yeah. So these plugs also, I think I've put one on this one. They're like a waterproof safety cap. So you can undo this cap here on the port. Like that. It's got like a little data cable plug. And then it simply snaps in, and then you push this up, screw it on. And now it's not going anywhere. It's got a grommet in there. You can sort of see that. And it's waterproof, I guess. So, yeah, we'll figure that one out. But I think that's a pretty good feature, you know, like that. It's going to be just that little bit of a better connection externally. So, let's see if we can work this out, eh? All right, so this is where I'm going to be putting the port. Now, in there, you can probably see a grommet. That's where, okay, yeah. I just realized I'm going to have to drill that out again. I hate that. I literally, yeah, I'll get over that in a second. I'm going to move this tyre, give myself some room. Yeah, see if I can fix this port. Okay, so I've just drilled the hole. I've counted the cable. It's just a little data cable link thing. It's just going to go on there, drill it in, screw it in, silicon the bejesus out of it, make sure it's nice and watertight, and then move on. All right, so as you know, nothing's really ever easy. You go to do one job and a bunch of little hurdles jump up in the way. You have to do those hurdles before you can accomplish the main objective. By that I mean is the old data cable running from the front of the Caravan through the tunnel boot and out through here. I did too good of a job and it didn't want to come out that easy. So that's out now. Also the hole here and the hole up here, there's actually power from the batteries running up through there and in there. And I tried to run this cable for the Starlink cable up through that conduit. Yeah, it didn't really work. The cable went in, but the conduit was just that little bit too small. So I had to compromise and just get my own little convoluted conduit here. And I've just got to fix it up and make it a little bit neater. And then I'll just silicon this up here. The next thing is to get power to my unit. Now, here there's a fuse box. This radio deck has never really worked anyway. We just don't use it. For us in our Caravan, I find it silly. It's unnecessary. And now there's just a bunch of wires and stuff behind here making a mess that I don't like. So I need to figure out where the power's running from behind there. And it's tricky because this head is giant. That hole is roughly the same size as my head, so it's tight. So the power core that they supply to the actual unit runs an Anderson plug. So whatever power I find back in here, I need to solder the prongs on for a Anderson plug, which is going to be tricky if it's up in there. Then up in here in the roof, I need to drill a hole. I need to drill a hole in the roof of my Caravan, which already has water damage from the roof. So I'll work my way up to it, I think. I won't do it after a couple of beers though. I might do it tomorrow. But I need to figure out where I'm going to get power for the device. I can probably do that this afternoon and then work up the courage to drill a hole in my roof tomorrow. So the unit itself is going to sit up in there like so. Power's coming through this port here. So they've labelled everything for you on the unit. So you got your landline, your Dishy, and your dashes, whatever that is. I'm still working things out, so yeah, I'm going to sound incompetent. Anyway, so that's the one I need. That's the one that supplies power. The aerial pigtails come down into these two. It then gets turned on right there, and then screwed to the wall. Now that's all pretty easy, pretty straightforward. If you have the power ready to rock and roll, you plug that in, you run your dish line to it, and then you run your aerial, your antenna down. So it's very, very simple. It just depends on these sorts of videos where it's an install of a device. You can only show roughly how it sort of goes. It's always going to be different from caravan to caravan because they're all made differently, and it depends on where you're going to put it, how you're going to wire it, so on and so forth. So this is what I'm doing in a 2003 Bushtracker. It's a different layout to most that we've seen. So if you've got a Bushtracker and you want to see how I've done it, well, it's going to be different to yours anyway. So they're all custom vans. So when you get these things, you just need to work out what suits you, how you're going to do it, and just take your time. Naughty YouTuber. I've just drilled the hole. I think you can just see it. That's from an aerial. So what I did, I just measured about 350 from this seam. Well, this is basically where the roof starts to curve down. Measured 350 from there. Bingo! Don't know what I was afraid of. I know exactly what I was afraid of. Doing my usual thing and stuffing up. Started to feed through the cable, and I'm going to use an adhesive sealant because on this puck there is no brackets to screw onto, which I don't love, to be honest with you. I think it's going to work fine. It just means that it's got to sit nice and level. So what I've decided to do is poke that thread through that hole, once I've fed all the cable through, of course, and sit it on a bed of adhesive. While it's drying, I might put a weight on top of this to make sure it has a good seal. And then hook it up and see how she goes. I've got power to the device now. I pulled the power from the radio unit. I'm not using it. I've never used it. I'm never gonna use it. So I think, yeah, there's plenty of power coming from it. So that was easy. I have tried the device and it does work. So thus the smile on thy face. Anyway, so that's one step down. It's sort of taken me a bit of all day because I need to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, and I get in my own head. So that's why I take a while to do things myself on these things. But that's okay. I've got nothing but time at the moment, which is nice to say. So let's get some silicone on this bad boy and yeah, see if we can get it going. All right, so I just put a good old dollop of this stuff underneath it. Fill the hole with it. And then just press the puck down on top, smooshing it all out to the sides, creating a good old seal. It is not moving. It's not going to move. Time will tell. I reckon just from an experience with this stuff, that'll hold, I reckon. I might go screw and fix that device onto the wall, fire it up and see if she runs. In fact, I probably should do that before I start drilling more holes into the walls. So, I mean, that's where it's going to go anyway. But anyway, I might go see if it works first. Let's do that. Okay, so I've just plugged it in. because I'm under the shed up here, I do have the pole that it's going to sit on most of the time, and it just slides up and rises up. But I'll just put it out there on the stand for the trial run. Let's just go inside and turn it on. And let's see. Oh, actually, hang on. At the moment, it's offline. Let's turn that on. There is power on, if you can just see it. There we go, it's on. Okay. Let's give that a sec. Alright, so it's good that I checked all the ports and all the cables and everything anyway, but if you just read the learn more part, if it comes up saying that it's disconnected, it'll say learn more, and it says make sure all connections are secure and fully seated. You are not using any cable extensions or non-standard hardware. Well, you are. There are no signs of damage on your Starlink connectors or port. Allow a few minutes for your Star Wars? Allow a few minutes for your Starlink to connect. It may briefly appear as disconnected when rebooting. I suspect that's the case. If there are any signs of damage, blah, 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 go to the shop. Yeah. I will give it a minute or two. All right, so I've had a bit of success, I think. Yeah, when I originally put power to that Outback Comms 12-volt unit, the power that I pulled it from was from the radio. It didn't seem to have enough juice. I thought I tested it. I was wrong. It wasn't enough. Found another power source, added it to it, and guess what? She's online. If you can see that, it's working. So I've just come down here. I'm about, oh, I don't know, 50 to 100 meters away. I'm just checking the service, and I've got full buzz. So far, so good. I will do a full review of it later on once we've gotten it going and we've used it for a little while. It's pretty promising at the moment. What I found is that because it's such a straightforward device, it's very, very simple. If there is a problem, there's a good chance that it's not the device. It could have been something you've done, which is what I found. It's, you know, something I did or didn't do, and it just wasn't getting enough juice. So on that, I'll wrap this one up, guys. Thank you so much for watching this install video. It's one of those things that it's not going to necessarily be exactly how you're going to do it, because your van's going to be different to mine and your application's going to be different to mine. But it's just shows you how simple it is to install, no matter what you're putting it on. It's just a couple of holes, hook it up, add power, and Bob's your uncle. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the review, which will be when I can think of doing it, I think. And once I've given it enough of a run to have a review, I guess. So yeah, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.